Howdy folks, Jay here. Just want to give you a little update about the YouTube channel here. It's been probably a few weeks since a new travel vlog has gone up, and for all those folks that are fans of the YouTube channel, I'll have some new travels coming up very shortly. But for those of you that don't know, last 4 months has been a very complicated, very surreal experience. As of November 25th, 2018, my mom lost her battle with cancer. We've been keeping it kind of a secret. My mother wasn't one to my mother wasn't one of those kind of ladies that wanted thoughts and prayers, you know. She was kind of private about that kind of stuff. And just my mom, Ann Hardman Silverman Marquez, passed away at the age of 73. She was born on the 4th of July, 1945. As a Hardman, she did a lot of cool things, you know. I mean, she worked really hard. She learned the value of hard work. Even though she was daddy's girl, don't make any mistake about it, being a Hardman was truly what the word meant. As she grew up, she was an honor roll student every year that she was in school. My mom served in the 4-H. She was the Kanawha County Tribe member as well as a West Virginia All-Star. In high school, she was a GAA homecoming queen. Later, she went to Marshall University down the road in Huntington, West Virginia, and was part of the Delta Zeta sorority. My mom would always brag about how when she came home during the summer, she would work for the phone company. And back in the day, you know, working for the phone company isn't like cell phone service today. No, we're talking, you take a cord, you plug it in, you make a connection with this guy here and this connection, and that's how they connected to people, with real phone lines from here to there. You know, that's kind of how they did it. But she was very proud, and every time we drove by the building in Charleston, West Virginia, she'd always point it out. Hey, that's where I used to work. But later in life, she met my father at Marshall University, David Silverman, and there, you know, she became a little bit of a traveler. My father, he was in the Air Force, so that gave them the liberty and the freedom to travel. We went cross-country a few times, as well as living in stops such as South Carolina, Texas, where I was born. Yeah, I'm a Texan. Save the jokes for later. We even went overseas, where we had actually lived in Guam, where she learned to snorkel, and afterwards, after Guam, they packed the bags and moved to California. Once she was in California, being, you know, a military wife, she felt like she wanted to work. She wanted to contribute to the family. So she did. I think that probably caused somewhat of a rift between my father and her somehow, but they later divorced, unfortunately. And, well, my mom became a single mom. And as a single mom, she worked for companies like Weight Watchers. My mom became a realtor for Red Carpet. She was a part of the Millionaires Club fairly quickly, which, you know, isn't exactly an easy thing to do, because back in the day, in those 80s, houses were only like $70,000 in California. So being a part of the Millionaires Club, pretty big deal. Eventually, with the long hours that being a real estate agent, you know, can be, she decided that she'd sell advertising for a local newspaper in Suisun City. It was called the Suisun Breeze. She did that for quite a long time and enjoyed talking to people in the community. I mean, that was just, that was what she liked. She enjoyed the company of people. She enjoyed doing the right thing for people as well. So it didn't surprise me that years down the road, she would later get into social work. But before social work became something that she retired in, she met my stepfather, Art Marquez. They were married for 20 years before he passed away in 2004. A pretty good guy, a guy that was a leader. In our town of Suisun City, he became a mayor who also set up term limits. But he also provided jobs, opportunity, and growth. He helped build a shopping center. He helped turn a marina into a marina that it is today. It's the continued growth of his leadership that set the stones in place for Suisun City to be what it is today. Of course, term limits happened and my stepfather no longer was mayor. So my mom decided, you know what, I'm going to run for mayor, and she did. My mother lost by the narrowest of margins, which tells you folks to go out there and vote, because every vote is important, I tell you. But regardless of that, my mother was a leader. One thing that my mother preached, one thing that I've learned, is never to judge people. You know, she was in social work. She was in real estate. She did everything that she could do for a community. She was involved in everything, and she believed that no matter what, you treat others as you would like to be treated. After my stepfather passed away in 2004, my mom looked to do other things. So again, as a leader, she wanted to get involved in something that meant a lot to her. So she joined the Women of the Moose, the Fairfield Lodge, 1379, where my mom became the senior regent in 2006. The senior regent is basically the president or governor, however you want to look at it. Mom became senior regent. They had a ceremony. And they had these cool little flyers, and I happened to find one here. This cool little flyer here. If I can open it up. She had a flyer that was made. And of course, it talked about who the new officers were. But on the back, there was a quote. A quote that she said. And it says, "Life is a stage upon which we present our values." Life is a stage upon which we present our values. Why is that important? Because no matter what in life, your values are always being seen. And she never judged anybody. She put her values out there of hard work. She put her values out there of respecting one another. And those are the values that I take away from my mom. My mom, after she retired as a social worker, she moved to West Virginia to be closer to family. But it wasn't until 2011 when my daughter Chloe was born. So she hopped on a plane and stayed with us for about 2 weeks just so she can be with her new grandchild. If the one thing I'm very proud about is that she was able to spend 7, almost 8 years getting to know her granddaughter, and my granddaughter getting to know my mom. I mean, you know, guys, you know, my mother died at a young age of 73, and it was it's probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do is my stepsister couldn't. My stepsister Quinn couldn't make it out here for the funeral, but she sent some flowers and she wrote, "I'm so sorry for your loss. Jean was an amazing woman and an awesome stepmom. I was so lucky to have her in my life. I will miss her dearly. Love always, Quinn." We should all be so lucky to have known a person like my mom. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is no matter what you do in life, you should live your life like tomorrow's your last, because tomorrow's no guarantee. Until next time, we'll well, thanks for watching. If you made it this long, I promise the next video will be a little more entertaining. So, cue the fireworks.